In the early 1980s, The Dukes of Hazzard captivated American television audiences with its unique blend of Southern charm, high-octane stunts, comedic antics, and lively yee-haw spirit. Created by writer-director Guy Waldron and inspired by his collaboration with former bootlegger Jerry Rushing, the series built upon the success of Waldron's 1975 film Moonrunners, which told the tale of a spirited Southern family navigating the world of illegal moonshine while outrunning the authorities. Despite the show's conclusion, the original Dukes cast continues to entertain audiences. Curious about the paths they've taken since their Hazzard days? Join us as we explore the subsequent journeys of the beloved Dukes of Hazzard cast and discover what adventures life had in store for them beyond Hazzard County. Tom Wopat as Luke Duke. Lucas K. Luke. Duke is the darker-haired, older of the Duke cousins. He is usually the mastermind behind the plans that help him and his cousin Bo escape from various predicaments. Luke typically wears a checked blue shirt, or a plain blue shirt in many, though not all, second-season episodes, and a denim jacket, which he dons in the first season and a few episodes of the second season. Born in Lodi, Wisconsin, as the fifth of 8 children to Albin and Ruth Wopat, his father was a dairy farmer of Czech heritage. Wopat attended the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where he made his television debut on One Life to Live. He credits Gilbert Vaughn Hemsley, Jr., his lighting design teacher at UW-Madison, with helping to advance his early acting career. In 1981, he played the lead role of Billy Bigelow in the musical Carousel at the Barn Theater in Augusta, Michigan. He was also part of the original cast of the 1999 revival of Annie Get Your Gun as Frank Butler, alongside Bernadette Peters, Cheryl Ladd, Susan Lucci, and Crystal Bernard as Annie Oakley. His performance earned him a Tony Award nomination in 1999. He subsequently appeared in revivals of Chicago and 42nd Street. In July 2009, Wopat originated the role of Frank Abagnale Sr. in the musical Catch Me If You Can at Seattle's Fifth Avenue Theater. He was featured in the new musical revue Sondheim on Sondheim, conceived and directed by James Lapine, which celebrated the life and works of Stephen Sondheim. The review premiered on Broadway at the Roundabout Theater's Studio 54 on March 19, 2010, in previews and concluded on June 27th. He also played Ryan Hutton in the musical Love Struck. Wopat was previously married to Vicki Allen, but the marriage ended in divorce. He is now married to Kirsten S. Larvik, a filmmaker and audiovisual archivist. On July 20, 2018, Wopat pleaded guilty to 2 counts of annoying and accompanying a person of the opposite sex and was sentenced to 1 year of probation. John Schneider as Bo Duke. Beauregard Bo Duke is the younger Duke cousin with blonde hair. Unlike Luke, Bo tends to act impulsively and often finds himself in trouble due to his actions. In the first season episode, High Octane, it is revealed that his full name is Beauregard. Bo is frequently distracted by attractive women, which sometimes leads to complications for the Dukes. He typically wears a cream yellow shirt and, in the first 2 seasons, a blue t-shirt underneath. At 18, he landed the role of Bo Duke, working alongside newcomer Tom Wopat and seasoned actor James Best. Schneider recalled, "I hadn't shaved and went in toting a beer. I don't know whether they believed it or not, but they liked it." Schneider learned to drive the iconic Dodge Charger featured on the show, but, much to fans' disappointment, he admitted he never performed any jumps with the car due to the dangerous nature of the stunt. In 2011, Schneider starred in the film Doonby as a drifter who improves a small town, only to be haunted by a sinister force. Schneider described it as, "It's a wonderful life without the wonderful part," explaining, "Reach down into the throat of, 'It's a wonderful life,' pull it inside out, and make a movie out of it." He reprised his role as Bo Duke in a 2014 commercial for Autotrader.com, alongside Tom Wopat as Luke Duke. On December 21, 2023, Schneider made headlines when he posted on X calling for the prosecution and public hanging of U.S. President Joe Biden and his son Hunter Biden for treason, which led to an investigation by the Secret Service. Schneider has since denied promoting violence. On July 23, 2024, Schneider married D.D. Sorvino, née Benke, widow of actor Paul Sorvino. Both Schneider and Sorvino had lost their spouses in the previous 2 years before their marriage. Sorrell Booke as Boss Hogg. Boss Jefferson Davis, J.D. Hogg is the wealthiest individual in Hazzard County, owning much of its property and businesses, either directly or through mortgages. Typically seen in an all-white suit, he is portrayed as the greedy, corrupt county commissioner with grandiose ambitions and a substantial appetite for food, frequently instructing Rosco to get them Duke boys. After his military service, Booke began his acting career off-Broadway with The White Devil and landed his first television role on Omnibus. He made his Broadway debut in 1956 in Michael Redgrave's production of The Sleeping Prince. Notable roles included Senator Billboard T. Rawkins in the 1960 revival of Finian's Rainbow and appearances in films such as Black Like Me, A Fine Madness, What's Up, Doc, and Fail-Safe. In 1962, he starred in the Broadway musical Fiorello. In the 1980s, Booke reduced his on-screen appearances but continued voice work in various television shows and films, including Scooby-Doo Meets the Boo Brothers, 1987 TV movie, Gravedale High, 1990 TV series, and Rock-a-Doodle, 1991. At the time of his role as Boss Hogg, Booke stood 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 185 pounds, often using padding to appear heavier. He mimicked the character's southern drawl from U.S. Senators Sam Ervin and Strom Thurmond. Booke was fluent in several languages, including French, Japanese, Spanish, Russian, and Italian, and he had some proficiency in others like Arabic, Mandarin Chinese, Dutch, Persian, Polish, and Swedish. He enjoyed restoring dilapidated houses as a hobby, and in 1981 lived in a modest home in Los Angeles, where he did his own gardening and carpentry. Despite finding his Boss Hogg character despicable, he appreciated meeting fans of the show. Booke's first wife was the daughter of journalist Hubert Renfro Knickerbocker, and they had 2 children before their divorce in 1973. Sorrell Booke passed away from colorectal cancer on February 11, 1994, in Sherman Oaks, California. Denver Pyle as Uncle Jesse. Jesse Duke, known to virtually everyone in Hazzard except Boss Hogg as Uncle Jesse, serves as the patriarch of the Duke family and a father figure to all the Dukes residing with him on the Duke farm. From 1951 to 1953, Pyle made 14 guest appearances on the syndicated series The Range Rider, starring Jock Mahoney and Dick Jones. He also featured as an outlaw in the 1951 Lone Ranger episode Back Trail, then as a deputy in The Hooded Men, and reappeared in episode 71, The Outcast, episode 166, Woman in the White Mask, and episode 187, Cross of Santo Domingo. Additionally, he appeared in Frontier Range, a 1951 episode of The Gene Autry Show. Pyle endeared himself to audiences as Briscoe Darling, Jr. in The Andy Griffith Show, which aired from 1960 to 1966. He portrayed the patriarch of the Darling clan, which consisted of several sons, all played by the Dillards, and a daughter, Charlene, played by Maggie Peterson. He graced 7 episodes with his presence, 6 of which were penned by the comedic duo of Jim Fritzl and Everett Greenbaum. In his later years, Pyle primarily took on cameo roles and stepped back from full-time acting. His final film appearance was in the 1994 film Maverick. His last known acting role was as Jesse Duke in the 1997 CBS made-for-television movie The Dukes of Hazzard, Reunion. In 1955, Pyle wed Marilee Carpenter, a production assistant at 20th Century Fox. They welcomed 2 sons, David and Tony, into their family. Marilee and Denver divorced in 1970. Pyle exchanged vows with Tippy X. Johnston in Los Angeles County, California, on November 5, 1983, and they remained together until his passing. Pyle's life came to a close on Christmas Day in 1997 due to lung cancer. A memorial service was conducted on January 6, 1998, at the First Baptist Church in Waxahachie, Texas. Ben Jones as Cooter. Cooter Davenport, the mechanic from Hazzard County, earned the nickname Crazy Cooter, which refers to a large freshwater turtle found in abundance in the southeastern United States. In the show's initial episodes, Cooter's character was portrayed as a wild and unruly individual who often found himself on the wrong side of the law. However, as the first season progressed, he underwent a transformation, evolving into a laid-back and affable member of the community. Ben Jones, the actor behind Cooter, boasts an impressive theatrical resume, having graced stages at prestigious venues such as the Kennedy Center and the Berkshire Theater Festival, in addition to numerous regional theaters. Jones established himself in Atlanta's theater scene in 1969, performing with renowned groups such as the Alliance Theater, the Atlanta Children's Theater, the Theater of the Stars, and the Winter Playhouse. He also embarked on a 2-year national tour alongside Eva Marie Saint, performing in plays such as Summer and Smoke and Desire Under the Elms. In 2015, Jones publicly voiced his support for the Confederate battle flag, which adorned the General Lee, the iconic car from the Dukes of Hazzard. Jones's stance was in response to Warner Brothers' decision to cease the production of merchandise featuring the flag and the removal of the show's reruns due to its association with Dylann Roof. Despite Jones's references to his civil rights activism during the 1960s, his quoting of Martin Luther King, his lifelong membership in the NAACP, and his call for a dialogue between opposing sides of the Confederate flag debate, he dismisses any connection between the flag and slavery. Instead, he attributes this association to a wave of political correctness and refers to it as cultural cleansing. Rick Hurst as Cletus. Deputy Cletus Hogg, distantly related to Boss Hogg as his second cousin twice removed, is generally portrayed as a friendly but dim-witted character. Similar to Enos, Cletus often finds himself coerced by Rosco and Hogg into pursuing the Dukes on fabricated charges. While he possesses a good-hearted nature and occasionally resents the way he must treat the Dukes, he is more amenable to going along with Hogg and Roscoe's schemes compared to Enos. He also ventured into other acting roles, starring as Earl, the chef in the short-lived B. Arthur series Amanda's. Hurst's film credits include The Karate Kid Part 3, 1989, where he played the role of the announcer. He actively participated in various Dukes of Hazzard events and made appearances at Cooter's in Nashville and Gatlinburg, Tennessee, as well as the World of Wheels in Birmingham, Alabama. He is the father of actors Ryan Hurst and Colin Hurst. Hurst was married to Shelley Weir, the mother of Colin. Sonny Shroyer as Enos. Deputy Enos Strait, a loyal friend to the Duke clan, often finds himself in a tricky position while employed by Rosco and Boss. He is frequently coerced into chasing after the Dukes and even arresting them on false charges. In the initial episodes, Enos displays impressive driving skills, earning the respect of Bo and Luke. However, as the first season draws to a close, his driving abilities seem to mirror the ineptitude of his colleague, Rosco. Born in Valdosta, Georgia, Enos had once pursued a football career at Florida State University on a scholarship before an unfortunate injury halted his progress. He then completed his education at the University of Georgia. Sonny Shroyer, the actor portraying Enos, also had a musical career. He appeared in the 1972 film Payday and released a children's album titled Back in Hazzard in 1982. The album included a delightful cover of Roger Miller's You Can't Roller Skate in a Buffalo Herd. Shroyer also collaborated with actor Randall Franks on a song called Children in Need for Franks's CD God's Children in 2001. The two have often made joint public appearances. Shroyer's acting career remained vibrant until his retirement in 2023 due to COVID-related circumstances. He delivered memorable performances as University of Alabama coach Paul Baer Bryant in Forrest Gump, Delbert Birdsong in The Rainmaker, and Governor Jimmy Davis in Ray. In addition to his on-screen roles, Shroyer is also a talented country and gospel vocalist, Waylon Jennings as the balladeer. The balladeer, with his rich vocals and skilled guitar playing, brings to life the iconic Good Ol' Boys theme song of the beloved show, The Dukes of Hazzard. Through his narrative prowess, he not only sets the tone for each episode, but also injects a healthy dose of humor with his witty interjections and down-home wisdom. The man behind the music, Jennings, began his musical journey at a young age when his mother taught him the ropes with 30 pieces of silver on a well-loved used Stella guitar. He soon upgraded to a harmony patrician and found inspiration in the likes of Bob Wills, Floyd Tillman, and the legendary Hank Williams. Jennings's early performances at family gatherings soon led to his first public concert at the youth center, followed by shows at local clubs. He even won a talent show with his rendition of Hey Joe. In the midst of his rising career, Jennings assembled an all-star team, the Waylon and the Waymore Blues Band, a 13-piece group of talented musicians who performed together from 1999 to 2001. However, as health concerns arose, Jennings made the difficult decision to bring his touring days to an end. His final album, Never Say Die Live, was recorded at the historic Ryman Auditorium in Nashville in January 2000. Sadly, on February 13, 2002, Jennings passed away peacefully in his sleep at his Chandler, Arizona home, leaving a lasting legacy in the world of music at the age of 64. James Best as Sheriff Rosco Coltrane. Sheriff Rosco P. Coltrane, the bumbling and unscrupulous top cop of Hazzard County, serves as the right-hand man and brother-in-law to the crooked county administrator, Jefferson Davis J.D. Hogg, affectionately known as Boss Hogg by Rosco, who also refers to him as his Little Butterball Buddy, Little Chrome Dome, and Little Meadow Muffin, among other colorful nicknames. James Best, the actor who portrayed Sheriff Coltrane, was an incredibly prolific guest star, appearing in over 280 television series. His resume is impressive, to say the least. As early as 1954, he portrayed outlaw Dave Ridley in Stories of the Century. That same year, he showcased his versatility with 2 appearances on the syndicated series Annie Oakley. The following year, he took on the role of Jim Blake in Season 4, Episode 47 of The Lone Ranger. He also explored more dramatic roles, appearing in the religious anthology series Crossroads in 1956 in an episode titled The White Carnation. Demonstrating his enduring appeal, Best continued to grace our screens in the 1990s with a guest appearance on the NBC crime drama In the Heat of the Night in 1991, where he portrayed retired sheriff and remorseful killer Nathan Bedford in the memorable episode Sweet, Sweet Blues. In recognition of his remarkable career, Best received the Lifetime Achievement Award from the Florida Motion Picture and Television Association in August 2008. On a personal note, Best had a son named Gary from his first marriage. He found love again in 1959 when he married his second wife, Jo B. Ayers. Together they had 2 daughters, Janine and Jo Jamie, before their divorce in 1977. Best remarried in 1986 to Dorothy Collier, starting a new chapter in his life. He was a family man at heart and cherished his 3 grandchildren. Following in her father's footsteps, Best's daughter Janine pursued a career in the entertainment industry as an actress, screenwriter, and producer. She initially worked under her maiden name, Janine Best, but later adopted the surname Damien after her marriage to actor and producer Michael Damian in 1998. Sadly, Best passed away on April 6, 2015, at the age of 88. Christopher Mayer as Vance Duke. Vance Duke, an evident stand-in for Luke, stepped up to fill the void left by the dark-haired Duke on the program. Much like Luke, Vance is the more cerebral and strategic-minded half of the pair, as well as being the more mature counterpart to Coy. Additionally, he boasts a background as a merchant mariner. Christopher Mayer sustained his career in television and film well into the early 1990s, including a stint on the daytime serial Santa Barbara, sharing the screen with Jim Carrey. He made an appearance in the 15th episode of the 7th season of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, titled Bada Bing Bada Bang, portraying a security guard. His final television credit was a guest role on 18 Wheels of Justice in 2000. Christopher Mayer's first marriage was to Terry Copley, an actress with whom he fathered a daughter named Ashley. His second marriage united him with Eileen Davidson, an actress known for her roles in the daytime serials Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless. Mayer's third marriage was to Shauna Sullivan, an actress, in 1988, and they had two daughters together, Alexandra and Angelica. At the time of his passing, Mayer was engaged to Katherine Irvine. On July 23, 2011, Mayer was discovered deceased in his Sherman Oaks residence in Los Angeles, having passed away from natural causes. Don Pedro Colley as Sheriff Little. The towering sheriff of the adjoining Chickasaw County, who patrolled in a vintage 1975 Plymouth Fury, was the only series regular portrayed by a black actor. This character, Sheriff Little, had a notorious habit of unleashing his fury on inanimate objects, pummeling and kicking car fenders and doors whenever he crashed. He also had no qualms about brandishing his 12-gauge shotgun and letting loose with it. As a left-handed officer of the law, he left his mark on the show. The actor who played him, Don Colley, graced numerous westerns of the 60s and 70s with his presence, including The Wild, Wild West, Cimarron Strip, The Virginian, Nichols, and Iron Horse. Colley was also a special guest at the 2012 Memphis Film Festival's A Gathering of Guns 4, a TV Western reunion in Olive Branch, Mississippi. During the heyday of blaxploitation films in the 1970s, he starred alongside iconic actors like Fred the Hammer Williamson, D'Urville Martin, and Gloria Hendry in classics such as Legend of Nigger Charlie, Black Caesar, and Sugar Hill. Don was a prolific guest star, popping up in well-known TV series such as Adam 12, Night Gallery, Ironside, The Streets of San Francisco, Harry O, Little House on the Prairie, Starsky and Hutch, The Bionic Woman, Fantasy Island, and The A-Team. However, his most memorable roles may have been as Gideon in Daniel Boone, SRT in George Lucas's THX 1138, and Ongaro in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Sadly, Don Colley passed away from cancer in his birthplace of Klamath Falls, Oregon, on October 11, 2017, at 79 years of age. Byron Cherry as Coy Duke. Coy Duke is yet another golden-locked cousin who migrates to Uncle Jesse's farm in tandem with his cousin Vance, commencing in Season 5, Episode 1, following Bo and Luke's departure for the NASCAR circuit. Much like his cousin Bo, Coy frequently takes the wheel of the General Lee, though he exhibits a wilder temperament than Vance, and interestingly, Coy and Vance grace the screen together with Bo and Luke only once, upon the latter's return from their NASCAR sojourn. Rumor has it that Coy, alongside Vance, once called the Duke farm home in the years preceding the series' inception, up until 1976. Cherry secured a 3-year contract with Warner Bros., leveraging it to grace various television programs, including Murder, She Wrote, In the Heat of the Night, and Vietnam War Story. He also appeared in numerous commercials and talk show guest spots and supported the American Cancer Society through his attendance at their events. Peggy Rhea, as Lulu Hogg, the wife of Boss Hogg and aunt of Huey Hogg, Lulu was also the sister of Rosco. Known for challenging her husband's authority and advocating for women's equality in Hazzard, she was one of the few people who truly intimidated Boss, despite his love for her. Portrayed by actress Mary Benjamin, Lulu's character was a strong and memorable presence in the show. Benjamin's career began when she left UCLA to attend business school and landed a job as a production secretary at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer in the 1940s, working as an assistant to writer-musician Kay Thompson. However, their relationship soured due to Benjamin's insistence on her own accommodations and her disappearance to watch a Broadway show without informing Thompson. Benjamin's career included appearances in feature films such as Norman Lear's Cold Turkey and In Country. She had a versatile acting range, playing roles like a landlady in The Waltons and later joining the cast permanently in 1979 as Rose Burton, a cousin of Olivia Walton. Benjamin's character Rose became a surrogate parental figure, filling the void left by the departures of other actors playing parental roles. Her commitment to the show lasted until 1981, when her character was proposed to by Stanley Perkins, played by William Schallert, just before the show's cancellation. However, she returned to the Walton franchise in the 1993 reunion special, Walton's Thanksgiving Reunion. Benjamin's talent was also recognized in other popular shows. She was a regular cast member in the first season of Step by Step from 1991 to 1992 and appeared in Grace Under Fire during the 1990s. Nedra Volz as Ms. Tisdale. The postmistress of the Hazzard post office, Ms. Tisdale, was an elderly woman known for her fondness for Uncle Jesse, stemming from their long-standing acquaintance. She drove a motorcycle and also worked as a reporter for the Hazzard Gazette. Born in Montrose, Iowa, she started her career as a toddler under the name Baby Nedra in a family tent show. The act continued until she was 11, at which point she had outgrown the title and began acting in high school, eventually leading her to pursue a career in music. In the early 1930s, Volz was a featured vocalist with Cato's Vagabonds. By 1932, she and two other members of Cato's orchestra performed as Nedra, Paul, and Glenn on Wham Radio in Rochester, New York. In 1940, Volz, described as a blues songstress, participated in a vaudeville revue in Miami, Florida. In a 1986 episode of The A-Team, she appeared as one of several senior citizens who sought assistance from the team. Volz also played Mrs. Perwinkle and Angelica on the Super Mario Bros. Super Show in 1989. She continued to make guest appearances on series like Night Court, Coach, The Comish, and Babes into the early 1990s and remained active in acting into her 80s. In Moving Violations, director Neil Israel allowed her to perform many of her own stunts, including being lifted through a window and falling headfirst onto the floor. Volz's final acting role was in The Great White Hype in 1996. She passed away on January 20, 2003, due to complications from Alzheimer's disease in Mesa, Arizona. Parley Baer as Doc Appleby. Successor to Doc Petticord, this elderly character was first portrayed by Elmore Vincent in the fourth season episode Dear Diary, before Parley Baer took over the role in subsequent appearances. Early in his career, Baer worked as a circus ringmaster and publicist before serving in World War II. In the 1950s, he trained wild animals at Jungle Land, USA in Thousand Oaks, California, and also worked as a docent at the Los Angeles Zoo. Known for his distinctive voice and bald appearance, Baer often played fussy, bossy, or obstinate officials on screen. His extensive television roles included the blustering Mayor Stoner on The Andy Griffith Show, the neighbor Darby on The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and frequent guest appearances on The Addams Family as insurance man and city commissioner Arthur J. Henson. In the late 1990s, he played Miles Dugan on The Young and the Restless and appeared as a telephone executive on Gomer Pyle, USMC. In 1946, Baer married circus aerialist and bareback rider Ernestine Clark. Their marriage lasted 54 years, until her death on August 5, 2000, in Tarzana, California. Baer was an active member of St. Nicholas Episcopal Church in Encino, California, where he served in various roles, including head usher. In 1969, Baer delivered the eulogy for his The Andy Griffith Show co-star Howard McNear, who had played Floyd the Barber, while Baer had portrayed Mayor Roy Stoner. McNear also played Doc Adams in the radio version of Gunsmoke, often interacting with Baer's character, Chester Proudfoot. On November 11, 2002, Baer was admitted to the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital following a stroke. He passed away there 11 days later, at the age of 88. Katherine Bach as Daisy Duke. Daisy Duke is the cousin of Bo, Luke, Coy, and Vance. She is known for her beauty, honesty, and kindness, though her tendency to be overly trusting and naive has occasionally led the Duke family into difficult situations. Daisy sometimes dreams of becoming a songwriter and singer, while at other times she aspires to be a reporter. Bach made her professional debut as a child in a production of The Sound of Music. She later appeared in the 1973 Burt Lancaster murder mystery The Midnight Man as the murder victim Natalie Claiborne. Her next role was as Melody in the 1974 film Thunderbolt and Lightfoot. During her time on the Dukes of Hazzard, her legs were insured for $1,000. In 1985, she was the model for the figurehead on the Californian schooner. After the series concluded, Bach appeared in several low-profile films. From 1992 to 1994, she starred in the Canadian family drama series African Skies. In 2006, she made a guest appearance on Monk, and in 2010, she had a brief cameo in the comedy film You Again. In 2012, Bach joined the cast of CBS's daytime soap opera The Young and the Restless in a recurring role as Anita Lawson. In 2002, Bach introduced a line of diamond jewelry at Debenhams. She married David Shaw, stepson of Angela Lansbury, in 1976, but they divorced in 1981. Bach then married entertainment lawyer Peter Lopez in August 1990, with whom she had 2 daughters. On April 30, 2010, Lopez, aged 60, was found dead from a gunshot in an apparent suicide. Bach is Catholic. We're mighty glad to have y'all along for this wild ride through Hazzard County. Them Duke boys sure know how to stir up some excitement, don't they? We'd love to hear your favorite memories of their daring deeds and hilarious hijinks, so please share them with us in the comments section below. Don't forget to give this video a big ol' like and share it with your friends and family. And if you ain't subscribed yet, now's the time. We've got more nostalgic trips down memory lane coming your way, featuring all your favorite classic shows.